This is it, folks. The last round of the back nine of the Welcome to the Jungle tournament, version 9. We got a great half round left for everyone. We really hope you liked the coverage from the front nine. Huge thank you to East Coast Metal Roofing and our other sponsors, including Discmania, Disc Golf 978, Meadowbrook Orchids, Amplified Insurance, The Lazy Frog, and of course, we are the greatest media team providing this coverage for you. And we have 3 people, including a reaction cam out there, so we hope you enjoy. In the booth today, I also have Andres Ripley, who is in the lead at -18. Also have Justin Patenaude, Shane Wyatt, and Reuben Hagan to fill out the card. How are you feeling at this moment at the turn right now, Andres?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, it was a slow start for the most part, a lot of pars, but glad I could get hole 8 and hole 9 and be, 2 under heading into the back 9 here. So excited for the last 9 holes.
All right. Well, what do you think of hole 10?
Hole 10 honestly feels like a must get. You know, it seems like one of the easiest holes on the course. You just have to avoid the OB low left, which unfortunately I did find. So pretty poor miss there on my part.
Oh, wow. You went OB there. It doesn't even look like, I guess I see the line now. Yeah, a little short left. Justin Patenaude getting up there, going to look like he's going to have a nice 2-look. Reuben Hagan, what is he throwing here? Is that envy again?
Yep, he is one of his envies. Threw it pretty well and should have, a putt inside the circle there.
And here's Shane with the soft zone. Looks like a nice pull. Can we get an ace, folks?
That looks super close.
Hey, no 20-footer.
And thank goodness we get a catch cam replay here. Shout out to Dan Snyder for this angle. Oh my gosh, he almost got that.
Just short, yeah. Great throw there by Shane. I mean, all 3 of them honestly had great throws. The key is just to push it as straight as you can and have it finish to the left at the end. I was pretty upset with myself there that I just, leaked it into the OB. I'm going to have to hit a good putt for bogey there.
That's not an easy drop zone. I mean, that's 55 feet. Almost an automatic bogey in my book once I'm on the drop zone, but averaging 2.57, 39 birdies. Wow, that's a lot. I mean, you must get that, especially after the tough stretch that we had on the front 9. You're cleaning up your bogey. You still have quite the lead here. From what I can see, Dylan Seppala is the only person that's really on your tail other than Nathan Delisle. And, they're both about 15, 14 down, and you're going to be 17 down after that bogey, I believe.
Maybe.
So here's hole 11, one of the new changes that we've seen, pushing it back and making it longer and harder. I love this change. I bet you do too, Andres. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a fun change. It creates a new par 4. Definitely a 2-shot hole here that you want to break down into pieces. The key for sure is getting off the tee and getting right. Short right is better than long right, so you have a better opening into the gap there. But definitely some branches and some other things you need to contend with here on the drive. Justin unfortunately just pulled it. It seemed like it just didn't come out of his hand, and he hit one of the early trees.
We haven't seen any mistakes like that from him. I'm surprised we see it this late in the round on the 3rd round, but to save a bogey save will be amazing. Let's see how he does there. And he was throwing his Star Destroyer, so he was going big there.
Yeah, and Reuben did the same thing, throwing a Destroyer forehand. He got into a good spot. Shane throwing one of his more flippy rocks and kind of got into the classic landing zone if you don't give the turnover enough height and enough rightward movement. So he's going to be a little pinched there.
Even as a lefty, is this a hard hole for you, you think?
It's harder than it should be for some reason. I feel like I tend to do that as my common mistake, where I just push the drive a little too straight. I was throwing a T-bird there and just clipped some of the branches, and it didn't allow me to get right enough.
But like you said, 2-shot hole, so let's see if you can correct from your mistake. Wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually landed in a similar spot round 1 off a similar result and was able to get a nice birdie there. My second shot there hit one of the later trees, so we're still farther away from the basket. Reuben kind of upset with that, of course. He's just a zone turnover for him and just turned it a little bit too much.
Don't hit that.
Yeah, Reuben's been playing pretty well around even. Shane, don't hit that.
He definitely wanted to. I mean, he just put the envy a little too straight, and unfortunately had to pay the price for it.
I'm surprised that this only averaged 4.04. I would have thought it would be averaging a little higher, especially with the drop off. Nice layup there. I mean, you don't need to run anything like that, especially with your lead. We just talked about, this card, Justin Patenaude, is the really only one that's giving you a little bit of a threat here. And meanwhile, the Chace card, we have 15 and 14 down. So you have 2-stroke lead at least going into these final, back 9 holes.
Reuben did give that one a run, slept it a little short there. But we all more or less have tap-ins here to to clean up the hole.
Mm-hmm. I got to commend Bob Kulchuk on this change. Just absolutely love it.
I agree. And I think the elevated basket is a sneaky addition to it as well. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard to see the slant of the green here, but if you miss a putt, on the shorter side of the green, it slopes away pretty quickly into those smaller pines.
All right, tell us more about hole 12.
Yeah, another addition. Hole 12 used to be one of the shortest holes on the course. It was a jump putt for some of the righties, but now it's been extended with a new tee pad and a new angle, coming in at 300 feet. It's a par 3 with a lot of trees in the way. There's 2 gaps that you can take. There's this more straight gap that the drone is flying, looking right at the basket. There's also a gap off to the left that you'll see some righty forehanders, some lefty backhands through.
I really like this change as well, and I think it's something that you would find at either course, like Meadowbrook or Coggshall. It's a great addition. They have the flat rock vibe with the stairwell going down to the hole, and you have dealer's choice. I love the flick option, and I love this up the middle ace run by Shane.
That was a great run by Shane. Yeah, throwing his straight rock just right at the basket. I've been opting since I started practicing it for that forehand. Unfortunately, I think in the practice round I threw the forehand so well that I thought it was the play, but both round 1 and round 3 I hit that same tree, leaving me pretty short.
But if you're in the middle, you should have somewhat of a, not too difficult of an approach. Justin getting all the way down there, and he's going to have a birdie look. Wow. And that was looks like his pure. No, excuse me. That was his justice. That would make more sense.
To see the basket, as you pointed out, it should be a relatively easy approach. It did leak out of my hand a bit, but was fortunate enough to hit one of the trees close by, and should have a pretty easy putt for the par.
One nice thing about this hole is that you can just aim at the rock, and it usually just filters down. So if you ever need an aiming point, that's what it is. And here's Shane for his birdie after almost getting the ace. His putt is not as dialed as usual today. I know that he texted me the day before this tournament that night. He's going to shoot 10 down. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of us that are pushing here that aren't on this card at this point. The Chace card's doing pretty well. And like you said, Shane's just been a little bit off today. But I'm sure he's going to continue to work on that.
So 19 birdies, averaging 3.0. This is for your par. Doesn't look that nervy, just a nice little tap in. Good job there. Moving on to hole 13, which is one of my favorite holes, but also can be very tricky with this middle OB. Almost plays like an island. It's a wild hole. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, this is the second year we'll have this new addition. I think it's a good hole. There's been some twigs that have been taken out, but like you said, you really just want to make sure you get inbounds on the other side. The drop zone is a very difficult 250-foot shot. So, again, you want to just make sure you get across, get inbounds, and try to hit a putt for birdie.
I don't know if Justin made it. That was we're going to find out. He was going with his pure there, and here is Reuben. What is he throwing? That looks like a Firebird or something.
Yep, he likes to throw Firebirds as one of his sexy Firebirds. I think it was just a little higher than he wanted. Still should have a putt for birdie, though.
Absolutely. Let's see what Shane does here. Pink rock. He's moved on. No longer blue and white. Let's see what happens. That was a good line, just the last tree.
And yeah, I'm leaning on my one of my rocks here. Pretty straight flyer for me.
Ooh, what a good pull. I see the fist pump, Andres. You must like it.
Yeah, I was very happy with that. You know, this is definitely a hole that you're thinking about throughout the round. It can definitely be a round killer. If you don't get in bounds, it's a very difficult four to get. So I was very happy that right out of my hand, I knew it was safe, and then just had it funnel and put me within 15 feet. So very happy with that result.
Oh, so Justin must have been OB because he's throwing from the drop zone here. And like you said, that is probably a 270-foot drop zone. Very difficult four save. Reuben with a great bid there. All right, Shane. Let's see if you can get the birdie here.
Just a little low, but on target. It's a tough miss.
And Shane is no stranger to shooting well at Cogs. I believe he's the one that, he won the Welcome to the Jungle, didn't he?
I think he did a few years back.
And again, he's no stranger to Cogs. So here's your birdie look. Wow, keep it going, Andres. A little good bounce back from that 2 holes before. Back to 18 where you want to be.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy with that. I know that going into the round, I felt like I needed to get at least into the 20 under par range for the tournament in order to really be safe. So I'm glad we're moving in that direction right now.
Yeah, and don't look back because I know you're shooting about 2 down now, but Dylan and Nate Delisle are both 6 down at this moment at 12 and 13. So hole 14, one of the new additions, moved back a little bit. What are your thoughts on this one?
I yet again think this is a good change, and it does. In my opinion, it favors the lefty backhand of it, which might be why I like it so much. But again, we're taking a hole 3, which I thought, or a par 3, which I already thought was a good hole, but making it into a par 4 with a slightly different shot shape now. You really want to make sure that you hit the initial gap that's about 10 feet wide. You can see it right there, maybe 45 feet off the tee pad. But once you get up there, try to finish a little bit to the right, and then go from there.
Oh, and you played this perfectly. That's what Bob told me to do when I practiced with him. Just get around that tree, get around that bend. That was a very good shot. What did you throw there?
That was one of my zones. Again, just trying to throw it pretty straight and have it finish to the right at the end.
Good pull there. And I like this hole, too, because it's an equalizer to the last hole. The last hole played 3.18. This played 3.69. And they equal each other out very, very well. Shane making a miss to the left and getting a really bad kick right. I think he's going to be close to the Mando. We'll see to the Mando line. There is that yellow Mando sign.
Yeah, which can definitely come into play. I mean, if you don't get off the tee here, you hit one of these trees and go right. It's a very difficult scramble spot.
Oh, wow. What a good pull by Justin there. That was his Halo Destroyer. Oh, and Reuben's giving us the line here. What a card made here.
His where Shane landed is a very interesting spot. It was basically right in line with the Mando, so we were deliberating over it for a bit before making a decision.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody down there. I know it's a new hole, but played it a few times. All right, well, that's good to get back up there. Let's see if he can save his par here.
Yeah, so he actually said provisional before he threw that second shot because we were still kind of thinking about it and came to a conclusion shortly, but had a discussion about it for a little bit.
Yeah, it's an awkward place, an awkward, strange time there. Okay, so this is your approach shot. Wow, that couldn't have been any more perfect, but a little bit deep. Whoa.
Yeah, I got some ground play there on the roots. That's part of playing at Cogs, but was pretty happy with where I landed off the tee and was happy with that second shot, and we got a putt for birdie.
Yeah, any putt for birdie on this hole is amazing, and I'm assuming that was your Justice?
That was actually one of my zones, so I got
zones.
the purple zone and the orange zone.
Got it. Okay. Reuben can't see anything through these laurels.
Yeah, but he got up far enough with his destroyer off the tee, so he was just kind of putting a little bit behind the zone there, and he should also have a look.
Leave a comment if you know the difference between laurels and rhododendrons, because I definitely don't. Hole 14, here we go. Andres for birdie. That's a very good putt with the awkward, looks like you were kind of standing awkwardly on that ledge there.
Yeah, I was actually standing on a rock. There's a little stream that kind of runs through here, and I was bouncing on the rock and was able just to get it over the rim of the basket. So happy with that birdie and looking on to the next hole.
That showed a lot of commitment, and you needed that because, you know, that gives you a little more of a buffer going into the last stretch here. And you're at 19 down. Let's see if we can get to the 20 mark on hole 15 here. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, another hole that I really like. I think it shapes well for the lefty backhand, coming in at just over 300 feet. A lot of key trees here you want to miss, but if you can get it moving just a little bit right to left and then have it finish back to the right, you're going to be in a good spot.
Averaging 2.97. So, you know, people are getting it, but it's also not a, you know, gimme. And a good pull there, Andres. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You don't mind it,
like,
right?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I feel like I just didn't get enough behind it. The shot shape was good, but it just hyzered a little too quick and hit one of those trees.
Let's see what Reuben can do with his forehand. I'm assuming that's a destroyer.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was either destroyer or maybe one of his Firebirds that he's leaning on there. Again, a pretty good shot shape for Reuben. Just get it moving a little bit left and then crashing back.
Oh, wow. That was very reminiscent of what happens with Dylan's shots on this one a lot. And hole 15, Justin Patenaude. What a good pull here. I like this pull. That was his, let's see, pure? Wow. And Shane, come on. Well, he gets up there. Now, should be easy 3.
Yeah.
So you only have 4 holes, you know, 3 holes left to go. What's your thoughts right now?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to not look at scores during tournaments. I feel like it never really helps me in any way. And I knew that, again, I had 4 strokes on people on this card and at least 5 on the Chace card.
Oh my God, and you still ran that?
And I still ran that, yeah. So at this point, this was the time where I was lying over the lie there and thinking, do I need to lay this up or do I need to run it? And looked at scores and saw that me and Dylan on the Chace card were actually tied. And so
Oh,
that I only had a
wow.
few opportunities left. Again,
So
look at
this
this
is
reaction
you.
cam.
Yeah, this is you checking your scores. Wow, this is an interesting angle. So that's you knowing that you're tied at that moment with Dylan, right? Dylan Seppala?
Exactly. Yeah, so I was going into
Oh
thinking I
my
was going to lay it
gosh.
up.
Wow,
And,
Andres, that was such a good hit. With you hitting all the hits that you did at Meadowbrook and hole 8 here, I mean, we're going to have to get out some reels for you. Don't you worry.
Yeah, thanks. That putt felt great. I just told myself to commit to it and trust the way that my putt's been going in, and it worked out. So glad with the result.
A very emotional putt, and that catch cam and reaction cam was very well done to follow you through with that putt. Great birdie by Reuben there. So now you have a little bit of relief, but not exactly because you still have a kind of a tough stretch. I mean, 16 and 17 are not gimmies.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's why I decided to run it. You know, we still have a few holes left, but nothing's guaranteed down the stretch here. So if I have the opportunity, I wanted to take it, and it worked out.
What a putt, dude. I mean, did you just have a great feel? That was like 90 feet, Andres.
Yeah, I really trust my putt. I think I'm a great putter and have a lot of confidence behind it. And again, just told myself that if you miss it, so be it. You're going to hit the comeback putt. And it worked out.
Oh, man. Well, we're moving on to hole 16. We didn't get to go through the drone preview, but that's okay because we got really excited about Andres' putt there. And that was a really good drive, man. What did you throw there?
I was throwing my beat-up Star Destroyer there, just trying to get it to turn and make sure it fades at the end. This is a trickier hole than you might think because, again, that initial hill, you need to make sure you get up it. If you don't get up to the top, it can be a very tough scramble shot. But was happy to hit the main line, in my opinion, and give me a circle putt.
you don't often throw these types of shots too, where you have to go extremely uphill. So kudos to you guys. I just saw 3 amazing drives. Let's see what Shane does here with his Firebird. And that is in the middle. Oh my good, 4 for 4. Now that is lead card material right there.
Yeah, we were joking about that. I think all of us agreed that we've never played on a card where everyone got up to the top of the hill. You know, it's really easy to have it leak in either direction and hit one of those initial trees, but 4 putts within the circle is pretty cool.
Wow. So let's make sure that you can get the birdie here, because Dylan Seppala is also still on your tail here. And Reuben showing some pace, 15 down. Love it. He's in second place or third place, tied right now.
Yeah, he's still having a good round. Justin, that's a good birdie for him. And Shane was celebrating earlier, too. We might have seen on the coverage there. It was actually one of his first birdies of the round.
Oh, man.
So good for him to get that. And again, glad that my putt was pretty close and able to stripe it and go on to the next one.
Awesome star frame there. Hole 17, 480 feet. Tell us more, please.
This hole is a very interesting one. You know, it is eagleable, 480 feet moving down to the right. It plays a lot shorter than that, and if you can miss one of the million trees we have on this hole, you can get a look. So it's important, in my opinion, is to try to get as straight as you can and then have it crash down towards the right, towards the end of the hillside.
I personally like this hole. There might be changes coming soon with combining hole 17 and 18 in the future. So we'll see what happens with that, because that could make an amazing par 5. But hole 17, what are you going to be throwing here? Because this looks pretty amazing if you missed that tree, which you did. Small fist bump from you.
Exactly, yeah, because at this point, I hadn't looked at scores in the past 2 holes, but knew that since I got the 2 birdies, I should be in a good spot. And my play on this is just to throw one of my straighter rocks, and I did miss a lot of the trees, which is part of playing this hole, and got into a really good spot. So very happy with that result.
That was some great catch cam work there to follow that line the whole way through. Great shot there. Let's see if Reuben can copy your line, even though he's a righty.
Throwing even more of the intended line here. He's going with his Star Destroyer, flexed it down perfectly, and he hit a tree kind of late, but he's in a pretty good spot.
That was a really good rip, and he's pushing, man. He's pushing for second place or third place right now. And Justin Patenaude, let's see what he does here. He's going to be throwing his Halo Destroyer. He gets down there, though. Yeah.
Exactly. The key is if it's okay to not get too much forward movement on it, as long as you miss the trees, you know, you're going to be pretty far down the fairway.
And Shane's playing the traditional kind of line where you can just hyzer in the middle with the mid-range and get still a good birdie play and option from there. So this hole averaged 3.72. See, yeah, Shane's got a nice look here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about who might have eagled this. So we had 4 eagles on this, which is very doable as if you get down that turn. One of them was Connor Moody, Danny Moynihan, Dylan Seppala, and Sam Streeter. I mean, that is insane that Dylan Seppala got this eagle while you're still fighting for the stretch here.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because, again, I hadn't looked at scores in the past couple holes, and walking up the fairway, I'm talking to Reuben and asking Reuben, like, you know, do I need to get the birdie here, or is a par okay? And he looked at his phone, and then his face changed, and he said, no, you need the birdie now. So I was like,
oh my
I assumed that he must have eagled it, but didn't really look at the scores myself. But again, was fortunate enough to be in a pretty good spot where I could just lay it up with a jump putt and have a putt within the bullseye.
Talk about pressure. So you got that live update from your friend right there. Oh my goodness. And Reuben for the
Stripe it, kid.
birdie, I believe, right? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What a great play.
That's a great putt by Reuben. You know, slightly downhill behind the basket, but he striped that with all the confidence, and thought he could get the birdie there.
Yeah, you could tell the confidence right there. A little bit of reaction cam. And 25 birdies, including him. Oh, he's happy about it. All right. Come on, Andres. Tap this in. Forget about that eagle. So now what is it right now? 22 down, and he's at 21?
Yeah, I think it was either that or 21 and 20, but I knew that after that, I checked my phone going into 18 just to see what the final update was. Luckily, he actually parred the last hole. Dylan Seppala parred the last hole, so gave me that 1-stroke lead with him off the course. I knew I just had to get off the tee here and try to just secure the par as easily as possible.
Well, keep going. Tell us more about 18.
Yeah, 18, it's a unique finishing hole. Coming in at just 266 feet, there are a lot of trees that are between you and the basket. You know, there's a couple different lines you can take. The righty backhand that flips up and goes straight is an option. You can also do a lefty forehand or backhand flex, which I'm going to try here, just to have it go a little left and finish back right.
This is probably the most pressure tee shot you've ever felt in your life.
Exactly. And was really happy with the result. I think the key is, I was telling myself, just get off the tee, get it down there, and then work from there. So right away I knew it was good enough to, you know, get me close enough where I should be able to secure the par pretty easily.
Yeah, very workable there. Very well done. Reuben getting up there too. I mean, Justin and Reuben are currently in 5th place with what they're at right now. So let's see if they can get one more birdie.
Yeah, this is a common miss. He still has a putt, but you know, it's if you're trying to miss the trees, you can leak out to the right there and still give yourself, you know, a circle's edge putt. So
yeah,
pretty good shot there by Justin.
Yeah, he's going with the zone, leaning on it one more time, and Shane's going to be leaning on his rock one last time here, and almost hitting a home run with the car. But
yeah, he
got
smoked
saved.
that. It did, yeah, and that was kind of actually one of my thoughts too. Is, you know, if you do somehow get through all the trees, you can go OB long, and that was a result that I couldn't afford, and was lucky that it slowed down and hit a tree, and glad that I was in bounds.
So you were feeling a lot more pressure than usual on that tee shot, I'm assuming, with the A tier on the line. You've already won a B tier with the Vineyard Social, which we have coverage. Anybody want to check that out? Definitely check that out. Andres killed it. And this is it. This is the final moments of Welcome to the Jungle version 9. Let's take a look.
Yeah, Reuben with a little half bid there. Good result with one of his NVs, and he's going to have a tap in for the par to finish up.
You feeling jittery?
I'm definitely feeling a lot of emotions right now. It's less jitters at this point, knowing where I am, and was pretty happy with that. But the last few holes, I've been feeling some of the most emotions I've felt on a disc golf course before. You know, like you said, winning an A tier is no joke, and it's something that I think a lot of us strive for. And to have the opportunity to play so well over the past couple days and be in the spot that I'm in, you know, it felt great, and it was definitely something I'll never forget.
And
one
the
more
fact
time
that it's Justin, great performance. That pushes him to 5th place. Another birdie for him. He had 8 birdies on that final round. That was so good. And what a layup by you. Let's see if that was enough. I'm sure it was. You're feeling good. I'm excited for you, Andres. This is huge. 3 days of really well playing, really no mistakes from what I could see. And here it is.
Yeah, there was the finish, and had all the guys around me just
That's so exciting, man. I'm so excited for you.
Relief just to
Sam with the dump.
Sam comes in. Yeah, it was a huge relief in the end. You know, it was an honor, and it took me some time to really take in what had happened. But I had great card mates all 3 rounds. Had my buddies on the card with me, and again, 3 days of great golf. I was really happy with the result.
Oh, I love it. Love the sportsmanship. Love that Harry's pushing you a little bit. This is great, man.
Yeah, and I also love, again, that we had Greatest Media Team there to get all the different reactions. You know, with the Reaction Cam Edition, I think it's a unique feature that people do enjoy seeing, and it gives you a different perspective on how the round's going. So love that you guys added that in.
Well, we appreciate that, Andres, and don't spend all that $1,600 in one place. Congratulations on your win here at the Welcome to the Jungle. I'm so happy for you. Let's see what Bob has to say here, our TD, our wonderful TD and PDGA state coordinator.
2024 MPO winners, we had, with a 19 down in 3rd place, Nate Delisle.
So he did push to 3rd place. Wow, what a good performance by that young gun.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of him as the years progress. He's a great young player.
He didn't thank Thoughtspace. I just want to shout that out. And there he is, the guy from South Carolina that nobody knew about, but
I'd
He
like to thank
pushed
my
it.
sponsors, Discraft and Ledgestone Disc Golf.
Well done. We hope to see you again,
Yeah, I
Dylan.
got these little... Coming in first place in a riveting finish, Andres Ripley.
Thank you so much. I want to thank my sponsors, 978 and Beast Disc Golf, as well as Team Tank, and of course Bob and everyone else for putting on this amazing tournament. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Bob, and of course Scott was too over at 978.
Such a clean trophy, such a clean win for you. We've seen you play so many tournaments around here, and you finally got this A tier. I mean, if we ever had a New England Hall of Fame, I think one of the requirements is that you have to win all three, A, B, and C tier, and you are in there, my guy.
I love that. Yeah, thank you, Raivis. It definitely is an honor and something that I've strived for a long time, and glad to see it happen in this fashion, and looking forward to the next one.
Well, we can't wait to see you out there again. And thanks again to our sponsors, East Coast Metal Roofing, Discmania, Disc Golf 978, Meadowbrook Orchids, Amplified Insurance, and the Lazy Frog. And thanks again to our wonderful cameraman for getting all these angles this year. This was a wonderful treat for us. We can't wait to be back. Thank you, Bob. Thank you to all of our viewers. And we hope you enjoyed the coverage as much as we enjoyed putting it together. Have a good one, everyone.